So Lexi started a YouTube channel basically to give insights on her relationship she had with her stepmother. And in this video, labeled Chapter 1, Stepmother, she went over what Nell herself had to go through with her father. And according to her, it was not a pretty relationship. Chris put Nell through. Chris was not a good husband. Not a good husband and not a good father. Chris was a cheater and very disrespectful to Nell. Okay, he was not a dependent provider. Nell was mainly the one who provided for the family. He did not put his foot down when it came to the relationship Nell had with his daughter, right? He did not establish that respect between Nell and his daughter, and he tolerated the dysfunction and BS between his daughter and also Chris was the one who's supposed to make sure the relationship between him and his daughter existed, and he did not do that. He dropped the ball all the way around.
I do, which is tell my story so that you can better understand me, how I got to that explosive moment at a dinner table, how I got to a peaceful and beautiful, loving place for myself, for my family, by kind of letting go of that toxicity of a family and letting go of that relationship. I've known my stepmom since I was like 2 or 3. She's been in my life forever, as has my stepbrother. We're only like 6 months apart. And I've only ever known my stepmom and my biological father to be together. I know I've seen comments like from the past year of my interview Giving You the Real Tea. People were saying like, oh, she's so bitter. She broke up the home. You gotta get over that. La 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 la. I don't know what home they're talking about because the only home I've ever known is them together. I've never seen my parents together. That's never been a norm, never been something that I've experienced. So I don't really attribute any bitterness or that I had to my stepmom for breaking up their home. So I've known my stepmom my whole life. And I don't have any unpleasant memories of her from when I was a kid at all. Not one unpleasant memory. She, I remember spending time with her mom, her sister. And it was always like, a good time. She was my mom. I referred to her as mom. I never called her by her name. She was my mom. I didn't have any unpleasant memories of her. And when I got to age, I want to say 10-ish, maybe, that's when things kind of started to shift. For me and my stepmother, the family, they lived in Atlanta for a little bit of time. And at first when they lived there, it was just my biological father, stepmother, stepbrother, half sister and brother. And the niece was not there yet. And I would come visit and spend time with them, mainly my stepmom and my siblings. And it was fine. I didn't have a room there when I would go visit. I would have to stay in my brother's room. He'd sleep on the couch. So I never had a room or toys, clothes, anything that was mine. The only thing that was mine was what I brought in a suitcase there to go visit them with. And never really felt the type of way about that until they adopted their niece. And when they adopted her, she had a room in their house. And it kind of made me feel the type of way. I had some issues because she was around the same age as my stepbrother and I. And, they became really close. So I kind of felt like she was taking my brother away from me. And then she had her own room. So I was like, but I wanted a room. And why did she get a room? So, and I would ask my stepmom about that. And she told me that I had a room at my mother's house. Age I was, but between them living in Atlanta and then moving to Harvest, Alabama, there was a extended time there that I could not get in contact with my biological father. So I was left to only call my stepmother to try and get hold of him. And I would call, and she gave me an excuse, and he would never be around, so I could talk to him. Same thing would happen with my mom when she called, so I could try and talk to my dad. And I later found out from my stepmom when I was like 17 or 18 why he, didn't get on the phone, because he left them for another woman and her kids, which freaking sucks for my stepmom, but that's what happened. I didn't know that at the time, so I was just like, where's my dad? So, but I started to have like a little resentment towards my stepmom because of that. So I was like, you're keeping him from me. Like, why can't I talk to him? Like, where is he? And then all of a sudden, one day he popped up, called, and he said that I could visit, and they lived in Harvest, Alabama. I don't know. It was strange. So you said you would too. But everything was about child support. Everything. Anytime I wanted anything, it was child support this, child support that. And she would always get really, really angry with me when I would ask for anything because of them paying child support. And then it started to turn into like, why every time you come around here, you want something, you need something, you want something. Don't we pay child support? I didn't understand, I guess for them, that child support meant anything outside of child support that I wanted was a no. That was our relationship. It was okay until it wasn't. And I really do attribute a lot of that to her not being loved properly by my biological father. I really do feel like because she was not protected, she didn't have that security, she didn't have that stability in her marriage and her relationship with her husband and for the father of her kids, because she didn't have that. I feel like that deeply affected how she looked at me and how she treated me. It's like, if I try and put myself in her shoes, I'm like, I'm over here, fighting for my life because I want this man to love me and see me and treat my kids, with love and respect and be there for them and support them. And then I've got this other kid over here that's not even my biological kid that's wanting the same thing, but I don't even have it for myself or my kids. So I can put myself in her shoes and I can see how, that would have been hard, but I still cannot excuse I was a kid, just as much as you wanted my bio dad to see you and love you and appreciate you, I wanted the same. And I feel like instead of trying to embrace me and help me navigate through that, the way I guess you tried to or had to maybe, if you did navigate that with your kids, you just kind of like left me to fend for myself with that, and then really treated me badly, really kind of put me in a box and set me to the side and was like, I got my own kids myself to worry about. I'm not doing anything for this kid. And that's kind of how I felt. But I do understand that you were not given the respect and the love and the security that you needed. I really do feel bad. Um, and I mean, I wouldn't know what to do if I was in your shoes. Especially if, my husband stepped out on me. I've